It is a daunting proposition to put $2 million apartments on the market in Pune, a quiet industrial city in the west of India, where even the fanciest neighborhoods are lined with squat housing blocks. But the developers of Trump Towers Pune, an elegant pair of 23-story black glass pillars, have an extraordinary new marketing tool they are moving quickly to exploit: the President-elect of the United States. Since Donald J. Trump won the presidency, they have celebrated the growth that Mr. Trump's win could bring to their brand, even flying to New York last week to meet with the president-elect and his family as he was assembling his cabinet. "We will see a tremendous jump in valuation in terms of the second tower," said Pranav Bhakta, a consultant who helped Mr. Trump's organization make inroads into the Indian market 5 years ago. "To say, I have a Trump flat or residence, it's president-elect branded. It's that recall value. If they didn't know Trump before, they definitely know him now." In just under 9 weeks, Mr. Trump will take control of a portfolio of public business between the United States and India, the world's two largest democracies, supervising debates over issues including climate change, maritime shadowboxing with China, and the nuclear standoff with Pakistan. The meeting shows that Mr. Trump has not fully disengaged from his business ventures even as he leads his presidential transition, and it highlights the potential conflicts he will face going forward if he does not separate himself from a brand that has been constructed around his persona. In a telephone interview, Atul Kordia, one of the developers who met last week with Mr. Trump, played down the appointment as a 2-minute congratulatory conversation in which no business was transacted and no new projects were discussed. But newspapers in India reported it as a business meeting, illustrated with a photograph of the beaming real estate executives Atul Kordia, Sagar Kordia, and Kalpesh Mehta flanking the future president, and indicated that the builders and Mr. Trump's organization are planning further collaborative real estate projects. Sagar Kordia confirmed to the New York Times on Sunday that this account of the meeting in New York, which included discussions with the Trump family about possible additional real estate deals, was accurate. A spokeswoman for the Trump organization did not dispute this account, saying only that the encounter with Mr. Trump himself was brief. "We have identified a piece of land and spoken to them," Sagar Kordia told the Business Standard, a daily newspaper in India. Sagar Kordia, who posted photos of himself wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat on social media during the presidential campaign, did not respond to repeated requests for comment from the Times. 3 prominent ethics lawyers said in interviews on Sunday that the interaction between Mr. Trump and his business partners from India does not appear to violate federal laws or ethics rules, nor would it even if he had already been sworn in. This is in part because the president, unlike members of Congress and most other federal employees, is exempt from such requirements. But each lawyer agreed the activities created the appearance that Mr. Trump and his business partners are using his status as a way to profit. "It is unprecedented in modern history," said Andrew D. Herman, a lawyer who has represented more than a dozen members of Congress in ethics cases. "But this is the new normal." Robert S. Stern, a lawyer who helped write California's ethics law and the former president of the nonprofit Center for Governmental Studies, said that any time Mr. Trump has a meeting with a foreign government leader where one of his projects is based, a list that includes Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Britain, Canada, Panama, Dubai, the Philippines, South Korea, and Uruguay, questions may arise as to whether he took any action that might benefit his investments. "It already looks like he is using his position as president-elect to promote something in India that would benefit him financially," Mr. Stern said. "It is not presidential, or at least presidential before him." Hope Hicks, a spokeswoman for Mr. Trump's transition team, declined on Sunday to comment. A spokeswoman from the Trump Organization declined to address questions about the appropriateness of Mr. Trump meeting with his business partners, and instead pointed to a statement the organization made last week about shifting control of Mr. Trump's business operations to his children. This is a top priority at the organization, and the structure that is ultimately selected will comply